Welcome to Overwatch, and welcome to Coaching the Many Pharah. And you notice that we're not actually watching a VOD at the moment, we're actually on screen with me in control of the skirmish. Just like yesterday, I just wanted to show like one minor thing before we actually start with Coaching the Many Pharah, which is just the concept of like cover and how it still applies to Pharah. Because as Pharah, like the sky is the limit, right? We can just zoom all the way up here. Actually, I need to turn sound on because I turn it off. So let's do that as well. And I zoom like we can zoom a million miles into the air. But if we're up here, right, there we go, we've got some nice sound, and we're bouncing around, there's no real difference between, like, flying around up here, if we're Pharah, and imagine if we were playing Soldier 76, right, and we were fighting people on the point, we wouldn't stand here if there's no, like, Reinhardt in front of us. If there's nothing, like, stood in front of us, there's no way in hell when playing Soldier 76 you're gonna stand here, hey, Steal Your Mind! Steal Your Mind, you've been around for a while, and sure, that's a resub, not just a sub, unless you, like, unsubbed and then resubbing now. Anyway, thank you, Steal Your Mind, thank you for your support. Yes. Also noticed, I think I missed someone yesterday, a Rumple Dumple. You see him on the thing. I hope I didn't miss you, Rumple Dumple. If I did, I apologize heartily if you're here, because I feel bad about that, because I do like giving you your shout-outs. It's like the least I could do. Anyway, if you're playing Soldier 76, for example, you don't stand here. I mean, yesterday we were shouting at the McCree for doing exactly this, right? We were standing out here, they didn't have anything protecting him, and he just like ran out here, and suddenly people on the point shot him. Same logic applies as Pharah. If we're playing Pharah, we don't want to be flying around here, because there's no cover. Right? There's just nothing for us to hide behind. We want to be in cleverer places. We want to be sort of juking around here, pinging off a shot, coming up here, pinging off a shot, dropping down. Like, we want to be using our mobility, but we want to be using our mobility in a clever way and using it in cover as much as possible. And this is just one of the common criticisms I have of people when they're playing Pharah, is that they have a habit of forgetting about cover. Valk used to be notorious for this. He's since got a lot better about it. I had to play against Valk here yesterday. He's a very good Pharah player. And I noticed he did something very clever, for example, which is that I was playing an Ana, I was trying to get some shots at him, pretend that this wall here is a Reinhardt barrier. Well, at first he was like peeking over, shooting stuff like this, and the second he saw me on Ana, he just did this, and he dropped down behind the Reinhardt barrier and stayed nice and safe, because there's no difference between him being here and him being up here, except for up here he can be shot, so it's nice and safe there. Also, one final thing that, while I've got the ultimate available, might as well show you, the best way to get Pharah ultimate, get good results, is you want to be stealthy. You want to be coming in, so let's say the enemy team is pushing onto the point from over here, you don't want to fire any rockets or anything, you just want to you want to calmly, go up into the air and drop. Because dropping is silent. When you get near the ground, you press Q. It drops you in from the back silently, gets you a nice little ultimate right on top of people. We're going to talk a lot about the ultimate usage during the video, so let's go and have a look at that. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to go to this screen, just while I get the VOD ready. It should be somewhere over here. Come on. Where are you? There you go. Okay. And then we're going to go into this screen. Way, here we are. Hello. Now I'm all big. I'm bigly on the screen. I like being bigly. Let me get chat up. Let's bring chat in as well. Oh, hello. Do we have a VOD for night, or is it just I'm messing around? No, we got a VOD every night. We're always going to have a VOD no matter what. So the interesting thing about this game is the guy who sent it in, who's called Woo. So let's focus on Woo. You'll notice that these are the rank spread in this game is actually very interesting. Is there actually a start screen? Yes, there is. So let's go all the way back to that. I'll bring it back in a second, Twitch chat. Come on, YouTube. There we go. Let's bring YouTube back. Let's bring Twitch back. There we go, Twitch chat. So you notice that the ranks were kind of like mid-platinum, but there's something interesting happening. Well, like 2 diamonds on this side, a couple of golds, and a couple of platinums against a team with 2 diamonds and mostly plats. Okay, and the reason why is that Wu says in his email that he's duo queuing with his friend who's gold, and then these guys are queuing as well. They got someone who's gold and someone who's diamond. So there's kind of some odd peaks in the ranks, right? It's not too distressing because it's all kind of around the same bracket. It's not like when I brought Ryan and Miska's ult accounts into Masters level games, which was hilarious and terrifying. But on the opposite side, they have 2 diamonds as well. But of course, if you get the diamond badge, you never lose it. So they could have dropped down to platinum, but still have the badge. It's all a bit misleading. Woo says in his email that his rank is about 3,000-ish. So he's about on the cusp of diamond platinum. Okay. Otherwise, we're just going to get started, so let's get this show on the road. Let's talk about Pharah, and let's talk about how we can potentially improve this Pharah's play. In his email, I'm going to, do this, start the video, and then I'm going to move Twitch chat off. Bye, Twitch chat. Bye! I'm going to open up this guy's email just to read off while we wait for the team to get picked and wait for the team to get sorted out. So he says in his email, "Hello, sir. I'm doing with my gold friend, who's about 2,350, and I'm currently in very low diamond. This game was closer than I think it should have been. Any tips would be greatly appreciated. Don't go easy on me." Thanks. And also, he forgot to include the link in his first email. He sent in a second one with the link in, which is a good idea. I do need those YouTube links. Anyway, I'm going to be talking about it.
Okay, what's the proper way to say your name?
And I like the fact that the person who, oh god damn it, YouTube, not now, YouTube. Please, YouTube, just work, function normally. I need YouTube. But the first thing they start asking in team chat is, how do you pronounce your name? Woo! I'm just going to stick with woo, because it's fun to say woo. Okay, so with woo, what we want out of this team, and by the way, the Widowmaker pick is literally just a scout. I like, never be too alarmed on King's Row. For God's sake, YouTube, what the frick is going on here? Here, if we just jump back. There we go. Don't be too alarmed by this. There you go. And you notice we can't hear the star of our game because that's how Shadowplay works. It doesn't record your own microphone if you've got it turned off. I do recommend if you are recording Shadowplay footage, do turn off the recording of the mic. Yeah, there you go. See, woo. Everyone's agreed on woo. I'm going with woo, especially because he's playing Pharah, and woo is a very suitable name for a Pharah. And there we go, let's turn that down a little bit while we get set up here. So the team lineup actually looks fairly standard. This was on the previous patch. This was sent in a little bit before. No, it wasn't actually sent in after the patch day, so this might be on the newer patch. I'm not too sure, because the email sent in on the 25th, the patch came out on the 24th, so hey, could be on a different patch. Judging by the lack of divas I think we see in this game, it might actually be on... I think it is, because I think we see some Hook 2.0. I'm not too sure. Either way, doesn't matter too much for us because we're playing Pharah. So first things first, we want to have a look at our team lineup. And actually, I'm going to go back here. The Widowmaker's not going to be staying for too long. You bring up the player screen. But we've got a very standard lineup. We actually have, we're going to be running with like a Winston. And also, by the way, they spot out a Genji. The Widowmaker literally says, please don't shoot the Genji, he's going to deflect. We shoot the Genji, and he deflects, and we take a shitload of damage. Best thing to do in this instance is just move back here. Once you are past the yellow field, you are completely immortal and will take 0 damage, so that's always a good idea if someone is trying to camp your spawn. Make sure you're going back there, you'll also instantly heal up. Widowmaker now swaps on to the Winston, and now we have like a full team lineup. Triple tank, 2 supports, us on the Pharah, Winston, Reinhardt, D.Va for the tanks. Lots of options. First thing we notice, they have a Symmetra. That's honestly like a very important thing to notice for us. We're actually looking for 2 things as we come out the gate here. This is the first thing you should be looking for on any map like this one. On any attacking and defending map, really, this sort of applies. Check the kill feed. Did someone die? No. No, no one died. I'm pretty sure no one died. No. Okay. But the first things we're going to be checking out here. Do they have a Symmetra? Do they have a Mei? Oh, look at the kill feed for the patch. That makes sense. Sorry. Yeah, so we're going to be looking for the Symmetra or for the Mei. They have a Symmetra. That actually gives us a lot of information. Just because as Pharah, we have a lot of options to get past the wall to actually find and damage the sentries on the back line. It gives us a lot of different ways to deal a lot of damage. But we want to help out the team as much as we can, so if you do get an opportunity just to poke forward, shooting here, for example, is actually a very good idea. Just because if there are any turrets on this wall, shooting here will blow up any turrets here, for example. We know that there's no turrets beneath us because we've jumped forward and we're not being shot to death. So hey, we're actually feeling pretty good. As I hear the bird noises in Overwatch in the background, I need to close Overwatch. Yeah, let's close this. There we go. Sorry, that was distracting me. But otherwise, yeah, now that we've actually gone over, we know that they don't have a Mei, and we know that there's no Symmetra turrets on the wall. We should be looking to push in. And conventional pathway on King's Row, guys, if you're playing a Reinhardt, if there's nothing stopping you really pushing in much, we just want to slide forward this way with our team behind us. And with the Pharah and with all the tools we have, we could probably bully down this Reinhardt pretty well and weaken him as we get set up behind here. This Zarya is dead. This area should be dead, but unfortunately we don't quite have the resources. This is one of those instances where being on voice comms and being active on voice comms can actually be super duper helpful. And the reason why is quite simple. This area is badly out of position. She has no real defenses. Her only defense is to barrier. But the barrier is only 200 hit points. So I want you to imagine if this was a Roadhog that jumped out here and just sort of started running around out here, you would focus and burn down the Roadhog instantly. Zarya's got the same equivalent hit points. Like, the barrier plus 400 hit points is exactly the same thing. with your full team here, you should be able to burn this down. And this is where, if everyone's feeling sharp and if everyone's on the ball, you could actually call for a burn on the Zarya and just say, kill Zarya, kill Zarya. Because she's so badly out of position. She is so isolated, so on her own. There's no way that she's going to get into protection, especially if she's backing up this way. There's nothing that can really save her. We can isolate the Zarya, kill this Zarya very quickly. It's just one opportunity. This Reinhardt goes absolutely insane, charges when he's on no hit points, does manage to get the Symmetra, however, which is good for us, but then we lose the Ana as she tries desperately to heal the Reinhardt, who's charged in and died as a result. Okay, feels bad, man. We can still get a couple of opportunities after this, though. We want to just sort of poke and prod and get damage, especially on this Mercy. Great job. Okay, now we're going to continue our poking. We want to be careful about over-engaging. Not too keen on that concussive blast. The reason is actually quite simple. If we're dashing around in the air, if we're jumping around in the air, the Genji's actually going to have a hard time fighting us and killing us before we kill him. In a 1 versus 1 situation, Pharah will generally beat Genji. Genji has to put up his deflect, but we can basically two-shot Genji as long as we're hitting rockets in good places. It usually takes probably about 3 rockets, maybe 4 rockets if we're not feeling particularly sharp that day, but there's a lot of different ways that we can deal with that Genji. So knocking him away is actually relatively low priority, and you should be viewing concussive blast as primarily a way of maintaining momentum for yourself and maintaining your movement.
This is unfortunate.
As Goofy rightly says, this is unfortunate. The Reinhardt gets a very early Earth Shatter, just because he's been swinging at our Reinhardt and then he's been swinging at the Winston, so he gets a lot of ultimate charge. Luckily, we actually have a small silver lining of the fact that Symmetra died so early, so she's not going to be a big part of this battle, and then Mercy died nice and early as well. In this instance, though, now our priority has to be shifting. We want to definitely get rid of this Reinhardt, so let's Goomba Stomp him. Good. Goomba stomping, by the way, is when you just land on top of someone and drop a rocket on the head. Otherwise, honestly, I would be very hesitant. As the Pharah, I would not be the person on the point right now. I would actually be positioning, moving back, trying to get behind this Reinhardt a little bit more. I'm just playing a little bit more conservatively while our team reinforces a little bit faster than the enemy team. So, using that spawn advantage. They've drawn the Dragon Blade, but hey, we should be firing at this already. I don't know what we're waiting for here. We should be shooting the shit out of this. We could be shooting the shit out of this, and we don't even have to fly out here to do this. We definitely want to be shooting this. Let's shoot this, let's shoot this, let's shoot this. Rather than taking our time to do it, because we just want to get rid of this as soon as possible. Oh my lord, we got another donation. Let me see.
Oh, look, Mum, I am on a video. Please love me less than 3, less than 3.
Thank you for the £3 for Pluto. I'm sorry for talking over the voice bot woman. I shouldn't feel bad for interrupting a robot, but I do. Isn't that weird? I think that's weird. Okay. Our team died there, but they used a lot of resources to do it. Hopefully, in this team fight, like while all this is happening, while we're all busy doing all this shit, okay? So let's just go over the sequence of events and like, could we improve? What could we do? What could we do differently? Okay, so our team starts falling apart and it starts dying, but it's okay. They've used an Earth Shatter so far, so they're not going to have it available for a little while. We could potentially build up. They got a teleporter up because Symmetra ran back, and I think like someone ran to the back line and just got minced by turrets. But basically no reason. I think it was the Diva. So they got the teleporter up. Okay, we can kill the teleporter, and then we could just let them use the Dragon Blade and just like not spend resources and recover quite nicely. Have resource in the tank. We got a barrage and we got a fire in a good position. We need to be communicating with the team saying, I'm behind them, I have barrage, I'm set up to go. And we can really do a good job. And like your team is actually communicating well. I'd say they're almost over communicating, like they're constantly chatting. We don't quite need that much info, but whatever. And honestly, like when I watch a video, I like to make a prediction when I start watching it of like, oh, who do I think is going to win just by like the first couple of minutes, like the first 3 minutes which you've gone through so far. Watching this so far, I was actually reasonably confident that your team was going to win just because communication was a little bit better. Nano Boost goes in. This is a perfect opportunity for us. Now, I know I usually encourage stealth here, but honestly, I would have encouraged slapping down a rocket, and then we just lose a little bit of focus. Like, this barrage could have gone a lot better. And it's just because, like, our target priority doesn't feel like it's locked in, and it doesn't feel like quite like we know what we're doing. We should have a plan. Like, the second we launch forward here, we should be having a plan. When this nano boost goes off, I would be looking to slap a rocket probably about here and get rid of this. Let's get rid of the Mercy, because she hasn't rezzed yet, so she's a huge threat. So I want to be trying to drift myself towards the Mercy. And when we're at this height, this is when we're looking to drop the boost, to drop the bomb. The first target we try and shoot is Genji, which to me is completely the wrong instinct, just because a Genji does have enough time to usually react and drop a deflect, which could just instantly kill us. After that, we get rid of the Reinhardt, that's fine. Getting rid of the Zarya, also going to be fine. But unfortunately, the Mercy gets the res, the Zarya comes back, drops a Gravital Surge. We're still okay-ish, but then Genji starts dashing through it, and that snowballs very quickly. We might still be okay, but that's just giving them a lot of opportunities, and I think the Genji draws a Dragon Blade. Because, and
Again?
someone, yeah, this guy shouts, again? Yes, again, because Genji's just dashed through 5 people several times probably, and that's built him up an ultimate nice and quick. So Genji gets a Dragon Blade off the back of that. And that's just because we have a little bit, like, a lack of focus when we made that push. Just when we, like, did that drop down, we just didn't feel like we quite had a plan in mind. A little bit sad. So we want to definitely, like, the thing with Barrage is you want to make sure you are eliminating someone pretty much instantly or destroying a barrier. If you're not doing one of those two things, and then Mercy just goes fucking nuts. I don't know why Mercy did that. Like, the enemy team is now going absolutely crazy. He really shouldn't have done that either. Just, you can see the point of that at that moment. You don't waste an Earth Shadow. Pharah players here? I don't know. I don't know if they're here. If they're here, then whatever. It shouldn't change anything in the coaching. And even he says, don't know why they keep going in like that. Now, basically, we've got 3 people on the point. This lets us actually range forward, and the monkey wants to go and do that too. So let's be careful about it. I think he goes a bit nuts. Honestly, we want to be holding this corner. Like, where we are is good. I like where we are. I don't like where he is. I don't like where he is for the simple reason that if they start putting a lot of pressure on him, to retreat to the nearest source of healing, he has to make one jump and then run, or he has to run and then make a jump this way. Like, there's no easy, quick way for him to retreat back towards healing sources, so he's definitely overextending here and could die and could feed 500 hit points worth of ultimate charge to the enemy team, which isn't good. The enemy team starts pushing back, almost gets the Winston. Luckily, he does manage to get back in time because the enemy team doesn't quite have enough DPS to kill a full Winston. Want to be a little bit careful about spamming into the barrier so much here. And again, this is where I sort of want to point out just lack of cover. Like, we want to be very careful of drifting in this kind of area because you notice that the soldier gets sight on us and then chunk, and now we're down to 80 hit points. We have a barrage that we probably want to be using as soon as possible. We can't do anything with it, and honestly, doing this, the only thing we are really affecting was hitting this barrier. We want to build up this ultimate, so I'd probably be trying to shoot back here a little bit more. Build the ultimate up, drop down, and then look for a pathway to try and get around the enemy team a little bit more. Instead, we have to spend our time getting the healing, and I think during this, if we turn up the volume, that noise that we just heard, that choom, I don't know how well it came through on stream. Listen again just in case, because it's important to understand these cues. That noise is an Earth Shadow. If we were with that Earth Shadow, we could have been in a really good place to get some kills. For some reason, we also get a rampage in Winston, which we really shouldn't have. Mercy is available. Let's not use the barrage just now. We really don't need it. Holding the barrage here is actually correct, and the reason why holding the barrage here is correct is if Mercy resurrects, we want to have the barrage in the tank to punish the resurrect. Barrage is so good at punishing bad reses, because in the 2 seconds of invulnerability time, like, there's no way they can defend from you just barraging on top of them. So it's a really good way of punishing stuff. Can anyone else hear that? I hope you guys see it. It's faint, but it's there. Trust me when I say in-game, it would be easier to hear. It is pretty faint, though.
Hello? Why is he still playing Genji when I'm fucking Winston for this whole goddamn game?
Is he still playing Genji? I don't know. He's having a bad time. We die, we get a bad spawn, but we managed to come back. Now we want to be actually thinking a little bit more about using our barrage just to finish off this point, if it is needed and if they group up. I mean, we don't really have anything to synergize with, so we can feel good about using a barrage whenever. This is not a good barrage, however. And the reason why this is not a good barrage is because A, it's coming from the same direction as the rest of our team, so they just have to put up a barrier, and the barrier's not forcing any decisions. They don't have to worry too much about anything, and we're just not close enough. Like, we have movement tools available to us. Why haven't we used them is the question I have. We have a concussive blast. We could easily just hop off this, turn around, blast over, and probably get over more towards this side or get more towards the enemy team, because barrage does have some pretty severe spread at longer distances. You notice that we're dealing good damage, we're dealing okayish damage, but we don't really get too much off the back of it, except for a Genji that probably would have already died anyway.
Shit's fucking happening, yo.
Zeta says, as a Pharah player, it's never a good idea to alter bad res, you always die without value. The thing is, while they're resing, while they're getting picked back up, like, you can easily find 1 or 2 targets that you can just hover over. So let's say it's a Zarya, and you are above them still in a good position, and they get picked up. The rest of your team should be swinging in anyway. You can just hover over them, get 1 or 2 quick kills, and just completely stall the momentum of the resurrect, rather than trying to just take pot shots and giving them time to actually stabilize and think. Definitely want to be fighting here. Like, this is where we can actually have time to shine, just because Like, we have a bit of a naked diva bomb, but I understand it's to clear the point. When this happens, we want to be pulling back and trying to deal with whatever's contesting the point, because we know that the diva bomb is there, so there's going to be someone stood here. Always. Like, we want to be getting rid of this. Don't be afraid. Like, this area is already on high charge. Don't be afraid to just call a burn. And just say, let's burn Zarya. Because he's already on, like, 80, 90% charge. Letting her deal damage for those 2 seconds is actually way more dangerous than letting her get to 100 charge. Getting her to 100 charge, but then just instantly killing her is actually a little bit more efficient. It's one of the things that sort of I know people are afraid of doing is killing the Zarya. And we will actually have a good moment to talk about sort of burning Zaryas later. Because it's when we failed to burn the Zarya at a bad time. But otherwise, now we can just capitalize on this. This should be a dead Genji. Good, 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 good. Enemy team's not disengaging properly. It all works out for us. Otherwise, yeah, feels good. And again, this is an example of a team that might be over-communicating just slightly. Like, we're getting constant chatter when we might also want to be listening to audio cues. Do like this positioning. We're behind the diva as well, which just gives us extra safety. Again, be a little bit careful when shooting barriers when the... Like, be a little bit cautious about shooting barriers when the Zarya bubbles on them. You just want to be a bit careful about that. Good shooting on the Lucio, though. Excellent target priority. That's exactly what we want to be hitting. They've blown the res nice and early. That's good for us, because we didn't really use many resources to get that. Can't punish the Mercy anymore. There's a barrier on it, so we just want to wait out, look for targets. We want to still be shelling out as much damage as we can. Can we get a good knockoff here? No, unfortunately we can't. Shelling to Genji, that's fine. Let's try and find a repriority while we're just putting a rocket or two on him. There's the Mercy. Let's reprioritize on that. And honestly, like, this motion is okay-ish. I'm okay with this motion because the team's already broken up. The only thing I'd say is when we see the soldier come out, which is about here, so soldiers now in the field, now's when we want to be backing off, tucking away. Good, 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 good. And want to be a little bit more careful. Now we want to be trying to support and see what we can find. Front line is getting a bit sort of scattered. Winston's gone into the back, but everyone's dying over here. So again, I like this refocus. Mercy's just flown in. Let's get this barrage up and running. Our priority's now shifted. Good. I'm fine with this. I'm fine with this. I'm fine with this. I'm fine with this. Would have liked to get the Pharah there. Did we have an opportunity to do it? Let's have a look. Not the Pharah, the Mercy. Rocket goes in. We could have perhaps picked up this Mercy. I think there is just enough time that if we angled for this Mercy, we probably would have gotten it. Mercy will just explode in like the first wave, but then absolutely fine. We're killing the Reinhardt. We get the Lucio as well. This comes out a little bit too long, but it does keep us alive. We want to just be staying in vision of the Ana for now while we get topped off. Good, 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 good. And now we're just looking to clean up. Let's get this Mercy. Mercy, 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 Mercy. Good. The reason why we want to get Mercy is just in case, like, Mercy builds up ultimates very quickly, so we want to be capitalizing on that as much as possible. B gets dropped. Okay, they're counter engaging. We're doing a good job by just backing up a little bit. Not overstaying our welcome. We can shell in a lot of damage. That said, I think we back off a little bit too far here. We don't need to be this far back. We could still be providing damage to the point. Like, people are still fighting, and I think this is unnecessary. Like, this does not get us any better of a position than just shooting from the front would have. And there's a temptation to do stuff like this, but honestly, like, we spend... Okay, let's count it, okay? While we're backing off. Okay, we back off. We've got sound barrier on us that we're not using. And then we're away from the fight. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. About 9 seconds, and then we fire a rocket. We could have spent 9 seconds firing rockets in. That's about, what, 1 rocket per second? Like, Pharah's fire rate may be a bit slower, but it's still a lot of damage that we could have been contributing instead of doing this motion. You do this motion when the enemy team is all set up and clustered up and prepared to fight. You don't really want to do this motion when the enemy team is busy fighting your team already and there's just scattered damage going everywhere. They have no barrier to hide behind anyway. And we can actually find opportunities to deal good damage no matter what. You take that route to deal damage, but if we could already deal damage, then why are we taking that route is sort of the question. That said, we now want to be pulling back. The enemy team gets all the advantages. They draw a Dragon Blade and put sights out, so we are backing out. We're getting out. I would be getting even further away. You notice how low we drop here. Like, I mean, your team's actually making the right call. They're calling out that, hey, they use ults. We don't want to even be staying here. Like, you notice how low we get? 35 damage. If the enemy team was slightly better, and like, we always get hit by that rocket. If the enemy team was slightly better, we would be dead. And then we'll be waiting another 10 seconds. So when you're pulling out, pull out all the way. And I say that with no innuendo. Yeah, this is one of those moments where I say something and I go, what did I just say? But I mean, I say what I mean. When we're getting out, we want to still be getting out here. We want to be running like the fucking wind, because you notice we get super low. Now we literally just want to stand here and wait for the Ana to come round and heal us up. I don't even like this poking with the Reinhardt, because it's a Reinhardt that we don't know, and the barrier could just drop. And then we just die. Now that the end is here, now that we're getting picked up, now we're looking good. Now we can go in, start engaging. Your team's already making plans. This is part of why I think that this team is going to win during this VOD, was you guys are actually making plans going in about, okay, we're going to use this, we're going to do this, and we can make this happen. So yeah, your Reinhardt's got a plan, he's outlined it clearly. Unfortunately, they have a McCree, but actually at this distance, like unfortunately it's 720p, so like the video quality isn't the best, but there is a McCree this way, you can sort of see him shooting. It's this vague red blob over here, this is a McCree, it'll be clearer in game. As we keep spamming in. McCree at this range, like, we took a brutal shot here. Oh my god, we've lost 18 health, ladies and gents. Well, let's just slap him around with some rockets that deal 120 damage a pop. We don't even have to really care that much about evading. We did more damage to ourselves there than the McCree could have ever done. Diva combo doesn't quite go through now. We're coming in a bit closer. We want to be a bit careful. Let's swing this way so we're out of the McCree's vision. Again, covering against the threats that they have available. So what can threaten us? McCree is one of them. If they still have the soldier, then it would be soldier as well threatening us. I think that's the soldier. So the Genji swapped to McCree. So we want to be covering from that. So I really actually like this swing this way. I think we should have stuck to this wall a little bit more, just so that the McCree who's trying to snipe us out can't, and then we can focus on burning down this Mercy. Soldier 76 is too busy dealing with the Winston, so he's not really a threat. Get rid of the Mercy, looking good. Okay, we've just got to clean up right now. Fine, we're dropping the barrage there, just a little bit of razzle-dazzle, maybe a little bit unnecessary, but the game's already basically won. Like, they can't get back from spawn this quickly.
I like this team.
I love the fact that Twitch chat is doing what I call Valk calling, which is just low, 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 Mercy, low, Reinhardt, low.
Right at the background.
It's actually, like, now it's actually probably a good time to actually address this. Like, how do you do good DPS calls? How do you actually do really good DPS calls? As we get set up for the defense. So the way you do it is calling low is less useful than you'd think, because low in Overwatch tends not to last very long. I've hit the microphone, I apologize. The times that you should be calling low is stuff like when there's a Genji chasing someone. If you've left someone on 50 hit points, letting Genji know they're lower than 50. They're lower than 50. Like, that's actually a really good idea. Really, really good idea. Because it lets the Genji know, oh, I just have to dash. And you get the kill. When you're slapping around a Reinhardt who's getting spammed by an Ana and you hit him twice with 2 rockets, it feels really good. You've done a shitload of damage, but the Ana's just going to heal him right back up. So calling low isn't necessarily useful. What I generally do is I try and call for burns. And when I say burn, it's more I am focusing down this person than this person is low, let's kill them. And it's less ambiguous. It's more like, let's burn this, let's burn this, burn this, burn this, burn this. Calling low, like, can be very, very distracted. Very, very distracting, because low, like, in my brain, I'm seeing, like, oh, well, Mercy's low, but Anna's just shot her, so now she's back up. So now I can't really focus that. I should just keep on doing what I'm doing. It's not really a DPS call, it's more like, oh, I've hit this person, I've got them low. It's just shadow. Just a little bit too much. New chat command out, Valk call user low. I think you have bot power a little bit, pals. You could probably set that up on your own. I thought you already did Pharah? Yes, we did, but we're doing Pharah again. Like, there's going to be repeats. There's people sending various footage. But yeah, in DPS calls, calling low is less useful than calling burn. Just psychologically, like, burn X is a command, while X is low is a statement. So there's already, like, a difference in the two when you're calling for commands. Okay, let's focus on the defense here. So, first things first, your team's had a little bit of a chatter. They've decided to call any Genji Seagull, which I'm fine with. Instantly, though, we get a massive advantage. This is so good for us. This is so good for us. This is unbelievably good for us. And the reason why is we want to now stall, because this means that she's going to have a teleporter incredibly fast. She probably only needs a little bit more charge to actually get to that. Also, the enemy team is now, like, stuck. It looks like they want to engage. They're posturing to engage. And I actually really like this position for us. I think we could perhaps be a little bit more aggressive by just taking some high ground and using this hotel as cover. But we definitely want to be shelling that barrier, making life hard for them, because their Reinhardt is giving us free barrier advantage. The reason why is they can't push with Soldier 76 dead. Unfortunately, this ends up happening. But by what this Reinhardt is doing is basically throwing away his barrier. Like, they can't push right now, so why is he even protecting anyone trying to do poke damage? Their team should just be looking to do the same to your barrier and just whittle it down, but not losing their barrier at the same time. Now, what ends up happening is that they come back in, you can hear the call, Seagull is down. Okay, they've lost 1 DPS. Hey, there's a free kill over here as well. We want to get the Mercy out there, that's good. Like, we want to be hovering in the area in the middle here, using the statue for cover so that Mercy can retreat us. And then we get a bit of an opportunity here that we actually miss out on. Because what you'll notice is this fight actually goes very badly, very quickly, because our Symmetra doesn't actually manage to get the telly out. And so what ends up happening is that their healers and tanks are still alive, and Zarya on high charge and Reinhardt with 2 healers is more than enough to kill a bunch of people, as it turns out, especially with fast respawns. The reason why this fight goes so bad is actually quite simple. It's that we didn't quite capitalize enough on their moment of vulnerability. Right now, they are so vulnerable. Symmetra gets caught out, gets taken down. That feels kind of bad. I think she got slept at. We actually over-retreated here. We have a big opportunity. And this concussive blast here, like this one, just costs us so much. We actually should be staying around here. We have a Mercy healing us. We could take so much more than actually what we're about to give out. By retreating here, we've let the enemy team push in. We're letting them have time to recover with the Ana and Lucio, and then we're letting Zarya sort of roll forward and keep the snowball going, where we could be bullying this Reinhardt, making it hard for him to advance forward. And with the support of the Pharah, with the support of the Mercy, we can actually start going for stuff like their Ana, their Lucio, or keeping the Zarya pin back. We could instead be using this concussive blast, for example, to keep the Zarya pin back and maybe on a lower percentage charge. Unfortunately, they start pushing in. D.Va goes down in no time because Zarya cuts through her like a hot knife through butter, and then everyone just starts going down. Genji comes back, dashes through everyone, we start dying. Now it feels really bad. Now we just don't want to die. We don't want to be here anymore. We're spamming, but honestly, all we're doing is giving up advantage as we get smacked in the face. We are going to get a bad spawn now. We should have just retreated. Like, you should be able to recognize at this point. Like, when you're doing stuff like this, we want to take a quick glance at our health. We're on 50 health. Okay, this is not good. We're trying to spam, but realistically, all we can maybe do is get a single kill. They'll get a good respawn. We'll get a bad one, even if we do that. As such, we're not going to be available for the next fight. Symmetra puts down a teleporter as well. Don't do that, because the enemy team, I think they might have got it refunded, but even then on Streets phase, I'm not too keen on having Symmetra, just because there's a lot of flanking routes, a lot of ways around the Symmetra. It's less effective. I'd prefer to have like a Zenyatta or something. You see that we get a Winston instead of the Sim. Oh no, we get a Zarya. So we're still on mono healer as well, which is going to have to change how we're playing as well. I'm going to have a quick drink as well while we get ready. Something really stupid happens here. This is what I call a cute play. I don't know, how many people spotted actually what just happened? Hopefully you were paying attention. How many people, hopefully, you saw something weird? Because there's something actually really stupid that happens here. Something really, really stupid just happened there, and it's a big signal for our team to instantly get a huge amount of advantage. Missed it? Okay, Soldier 76 is behind us. Right. Let's go forward frame by frame. Come on. It should be about now. These rockets came from behind us. Good, a couple of people did spot it. The flanking soldier behind. Yes. We need to go and deal with this. This is now our job, our responsibility. We want to be going and hunting this down. Soldier behind, like, this is such a bad decision from them. Like, they get a grav surge, but the soldier can't do anything from there. Soldier can't do anything from back there. We can just sort of sit on him, and now this guy should honestly be dead. We just spam 2 rockets into him, got a Mercy. We want to make sure we keep our Mercy alive. And all these resources they just spend, they just use a grav on us. As long as we keep this Mercy alive, which is easy for us and Zarya. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Okay, now we get the re-engage. Now we have a barrage. Let's get rid of some targets. Maybe wanted to be a little bit closer to the Zarya before doing that, just because of burn time, so how long it takes to kill the Zarya. If we were a little bit closer, she would have died instantly. We could have just dropped maybe a touch more towards her. But the reason why is quite simple. It's just because it takes about, that took us about a second and a half. In that second and a half, Ana could have slept out us, got a little bit less value, but killing the Zarya is absolutely fine there. And then we want to be just finishing off this Lucio. Like, he can't do anything right now. We should just be killing this. Hunting. Good. Oh, boom. Nice. Enemy teams over engaging. We definitely want to punish this Reinhardt. Putting a concussive blast about here would be really nice, just to like solidify his bad position. Definitely putting a concussive blast here would be super, super nice now. Too late. The reason why we're looking to do that is because of this situation. When Reinhardt is about in front of this line, so draw a line about here, because that's the line of sight of an Ana coming back from spawn, or an Ana who's escaped and backed off. He's still in line of sight towards healers, and as such can be picked back up right now. And with Ana's healing rate, like even right now, it's so dangerous. So we've got to be super careful, and so we want to put the concussive blast about here, knocking Reinhardt further into our team so that, he can't do anything at this point. He's already dead. We want to be using that just to get him in so we can kill him, and then when the enemy team has no barrier, we can do whatever we like and just kill them. When it's already back here, it's a little bit too late. So again, it's just using this concussive blast resource to its maximum advantage. Getting a couple of easy kills off the back. Okay, now we're going back into spam mode. Perfectly fine with this, just shelling away, shelling away, shelling away. We want to be looking for some damage. You want to be a bit careful about Zarya bubbles, but now that they're down, okay, we've got a bit of an opportunity. Slam into this Reinhardt a bit. Definitely can be helping finish this off. Now that he's tucked away into the pub, now we have to back off. But we did some damage to him, which is good, 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 good. Staying a nice distance away, good rocket on the soldier. If we didn't land that rocket, we wanted to back away and hide in the alleyway a little bit, just because an open Pharah is very, very vulnerable soldier ultimates, but good rocket, so we shot that down. And this is all because they don't have a Reinhardt, and their Reinhardt, went a bit crazy. Now we have an easy kill here, and maybe one easy kill on the Lucio. Oh, just a bit short. Can they finish him off? Yes, yes they can. Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. Okay, coffee. Ah, lovely. Okay, now we're back to spamming. Now we have a barrage. Now we can be thinking about how we're going to deploy this barrage. We should be coordinating. Good. Good, 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 good. We want to be talking to our Zarya especially. Making sure that the Zarya might be available. They're pushing in aggressively. Stay in the air for the love of God at this point. And the reason why is quite simple. We want to be wary that they haven't used many ultimates at the moment. So if we land on the ground, this happens. Wouldn't it be nice if we could counter this? Now, luckily, they fuck up and they don't do anything. They just like this is like the perfect Earth Shatter, and I don't get what the enemy team is doing at the moment. I think they chase after Reinhardt, maybe. So our Reinhardt goes in, and he starts killing everything, and their entire team turns to try and kill the nano boosted Reinhardt instead of killing this or this or this, and as such, we are now in a great position to punish them. Great positioning here, and this is where we have a little bit of confusion again about just where we want to be going with our barrage. We still got some good targets, but it still could be better. And again, it's this thing that I've noticed, this habit that I've noticed with this player, where we don't quite know exactly what we should be getting rid of first. We get onto the Ana. Ana runs away and survives. She should not be able to do that. And end result is we kill a Lucio. Despite being in a perfect position over the top of the enemy team, we kill one person. And that's purely because we have a lack of focus when we're going in up and over. Like when you're looking at this, you should be thinking, your brain should be going, do, target locked, boop. Okay, we're going on this Ana. Ana's running forward. We want to lead the target slightly just because these are still rockets, they are still projectiles. Lead the target, and then we want to be firing over here because these two guys can't dodge anywhere or eliminating this. Probably over here is the maximum value. So you want to be barraging up to this way and then barrage and probably finish aiming about here where these two people are trapped in the corner. We can explode them. Heineko! Heineko, welcome. Welcome to the many. Thank you so much for joining us. And welcome to the wonderful community. And it sort of bubbled up and take a rocket to the face. Now it hurts. And that, honestly, like, you said don't hold back. That was our fault. We could have got way more out of the back of that barrage. Way more out of the back of that barrage and cleaned up the fight. Unfortunately, we didn't manage to do that, and it kind of sucks. So it hurts. And now we're kind of in a rough position, right? Because we threw some ultimates into that fight and we didn't quite get full value. And now they're really pushing hard and keeping that payload rolling.
We don't necessarily need to let them get this point right here.
It looks like D.Va's thinking about contesting. Good retreat through this way. I do like the fact that we didn't stay and engage this Genji. Just because we're in such a small environment here with lots of walls for Genji to get height, we don't want to be finding Genji in that little room. We want to be backing off, finding somewhere to heal up, but we just let that go. Okay, that's fine. We don't want to be forcing the point unnecessarily. Now we want to be really careful about sightlines and cover. I would have picked up the health pack here. Just because, like, you notice that both healers have run back. These healers shouldn't be focusing on us. They should be focusing on these guys. Let's just go pick up this health pack here and then get back to the fight on our own. I'm okay-ish with us going this way. We should just probably poke out once or twice. Maybe try for a concussive blast and knock someone down this pit. This pit is great for Pharah, especially around this corner. Concussive blasting, like in this area, is very good for knocking people in. But we want to be super careful when doing this. 1 or 2 rockets and then back off. We don't want to really actually show this way again, because you see Soldier is just waiting for us. And this is like a general thing with Pharah, is you generally want to fire off 2, maybe 3 rockets, then repositioning. So we get a kill. We've already got value. Like, our job is done. We want to be backing off, finding a way to heal up, because when we poke out this way again, Soldier's just got his crosshair on that little alcove, and he's just killing us. Now we pick up the health pack. Now we can help clear this, maybe. Get rid of this area. Okay. We don't want to be pushing out just yet as well. We're on 100 hit points. We aren't needed on the front line. Let's go find some healing. Make it easy for our Ana instead of she has to waste a heal grenade to hit us, and that's not good for the Ana. Okay, now we want to be thinking about the next fight. Let's think about the next fight. So we want to be just planning out what we're going to be doing next, and that's getting our barrage, probably. Probably want to be landing 1 or 2 more rockets. Also, don't be afraid to punish Reinhardts who are very far ahead of their team. A concussive blast here will launch this Reinhardt ahead, leave their team exposed, and isolate this Reinhardt. So don't be too afraid, and especially at like this point. By now, we don't need concussive blast so much for mobility, so we can use it a little bit more for aggressive play and isolating stuff like the Reinhardt. You just got to be a little bit careful of it, because you can reposition them to get good Earth Shatters. No, they're taking damage. They get a good Earth Shatter off. And notice that we've had to retreat, and oh shit, we're in trouble. We don't want to be re-engaging on 20 hit points. We don't want to be using any resources. Don't even think about barraging at the moment. Please, 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 no.
Get ready.
Oh!
Get ready.
There's a health pack behind us, by the way. Yeah, no, it's there.
Get ready.
We should be picking that up.
Get ready.
We should be picking that up. Because this is just bad news bears for us. And it's one of those things, I mean, I'm bad at it, and you'll hear people shouting at me, but during downtime especially, there's kind of no excuse to not keeping an eye on your own health. Like, it's just a good idea. Good Earth Shatter, their Reinhardt fucks up. Good opportunity for us to come out. We probably won't need our barrage, we're doing good damage, good eliminations, good accuracy as well, it's nice to see. Okay. I am fine with this motion now, because you notice that our team is more like this is like when I walk out here, I'm seeing like posturing. The engagement hasn't quite spiraled out of control yet, where everyone's fighting everywhere. The Reinhardt's still staring at our front line, and everyone's still positioned there. So if we do go up here and get a good flank, we should be fine. For some reason, we start loitering around, coming back this way. The Ana's actually very vulnerable here. We should be looking to get a couple of rockets on the Ana. We do a bit of a stalled drop onto the Ana. Could have got a little bit better than that, I think. And the reason why is quite simple. I've talked about this before, and I did this in the last Pharah Coaching the Many, but of course the best way to do the ultimate is to drop and then ult, because the ult is like it's like a handbrake, right? You just stop in the air, and when you're bouncing around, whenever you do a mission, so we like as we're rocketing around here, I'll do the noises. I know I shouldn't do the noises, but we're gonna do them anyway. So we're going. And all of these people, their Ana should be going, huh, there's a Pharah above us. I can hear that very clearly because I'm a human being with ears, and ears are very important to play in this game. So I know that there's a Pharah above us, and if there's a Pharah above me, chances are she's going to want to barrage. So I'm just thinking, well, my little pinky finger is over the shift button and getting ready to press it when she says, justice reigns from above. I look up, go pink, and then she drops to the floor and does nothing. So again, a little bit stalled on this. Would have been cleaner if we just stuck to our guns. We went up this way. Why not just finish the movement, go around behind, and then drop this? But just because the engagement hasn't neared a point where it's frantic and requires the immediate DPS right now, our tanks are still holding, so we can go in and start dealing with this a little bit more. As I said, we have better target priority in this instance, except right now, our second target should not be Genji. Fuck Genji, okay? This is a general declaration. Fuck Genji. And the reason why, okay... Ignore Genji. Like, the best thing to do is ignore Genji. Genji wants your woman. Genji's after your girl. Genji's apparently gonna go be going after Mercy. But surely the original ship is Pharmacy. Surely that's the camp you're rooting for as a Pharah main. So what you want to be doing is you want to be just ignoring him. Don't even give him attention. Don't give him a chance to shine. Don't give him a chance to do anything cool, because that will just impress Mercy, and that's not what you want to do. And by focusing our barrage on the Genji, we're just giving him a chance to put deflect up and actually put a stop to our antics. Luckily, their Genji isn't good enough to do that. Doesn't pay enough attention. As such, gets absolutely just demolished, which is good for us. Now we should be honestly looking at the Zarya, not the Reinhardt. So good reposition. Let's finish off the Zarya, who's on high charge. She fires off a Graviton Surgeon in complete panic, completely wasting it. That's really good for us. And oh, nice flick. Get out on the Lucio.
Nice work, team.
What about Hopaka?
Okay. And now we're stabilized. Now we can just punish the enemy team if they start coming in, start trickling in. What the fuck was that shipping nonsense? I know. Every Pharah main dreams of pharmacy. It's how to encourage them. It's how to incentivize them. It's how do you teach them. This area is not dead. Why isn't this area dead? Someone's fucking up. Someone's fucking up, and being honest, it's us. It is us. We get rid of this Lucio. Where's the Zarya? Oh, is the Zarya dead? Did she come back? Where did the Zarya go? Did I lose her? Did I lose track? Yes, I did. Sorry, I got distracted by chat. Yeah, I think the D.Va got the Zarya. Okay, good. Now we want to be just ready to punish. Soldier's running in on his own. This is a good opportunity to punish. Want to be a bit careful with it, but hey, okay, Anna's back. Now we want to back off. One rocket. Don't chase the follow-up too hungrily. Good rocket there. Good rocket there. Back off. Heal up. Remember to stay with our back towards where people can heal us. Okay, back up. Shelling. Got a bastion now. This area, we want to punish this area. Like, I'm fine with slamming DPS into like the backline here. The question is, can we realistically kill things over here? No, but we can realistically kill this. Again, we have this important tool here with Concussive Blast. It's a great way of isolating targets and getting rid of them. Hey, Moxie, woo! Moxie, woo, good timing. As the player's called, woo! As we start shelling in, hey, this Reinhardt's also a free tasty kill. We could put a Concussive Blast right here, knock this Reinhardt forward into our team, and maybe get an easy kill with that as well. Like, there are plenty of opportunities to just use our tools here if we're just being a little bit more observant around sort of where targets are. Perfectly fine with this retreat, though. Perfectly fine with using it to displace ourselves. We could just hide a little bit further back and move around, but whatever. Okay, we're using it to reposition. Perfectly fine with that. We're doing good now. We're actually staying in the air. Soldier, oh no, it's Boostio! Not doing anything. Unfortunately, Soldier gets his line of sight on us and we go down.
Lucio got boosted.
And team rightfully calls Lucio got boosted, but too little too late. Bastion not having a good time there with his Genji. Oh no, he does have a good time with Genji, but it might be too little too late. Come on, Bastion! Bastion! Okay, good. Stalling. Oh, so close. Okay, they get it. It's very, very close as well. Maybe you could pay for some dates with Ryan's tips in the sub. I don't want to be paying for dates. I mean, well, like paying for dates makes it sound strange. Affording dates, maybe? I don't know. I don't know how you'd phrase that without making it sound like it's prostitution. I sent you a match with the Nano Boosted Mercy Res combo. Ooh. I did see that you sent me some games. I did watch the Roadhog one. We almost went with it for today. But instead, we're going to stick with the Pharah, I think. Okay. Our team lineup is wank. I don't like this, and I don't like this at all. Oh my god, this is abysmal. Please tell me this changes. This is about the point where I thought, yeah, this video is good enough to use. And I did not see this team lineup. The reason why this is terrible is quite simple. Okay? Where's the front line? It's here. This is your front line. This is a D.Va after the January 24th patch. That's your front line. If they have a Roadhog, you lose. If they have a Widowmaker, you lose. If they have a Pharah, you probably still lose. If they have a Reaper, you might be okay. There's so many options. If they have a Zarya, you instantly lose. Like, holy shit, this is no. Reinhardt would be infinitely better here. Like, if you're going to have to run a single tank, then running a single Reinhardt is better. The fact that we have 3 supports, Symmetra, Lucio, and Mercy, is just bad news bears for us. So it means our DPS output is so short-ranged. We are our only long-range damage here. That means we have to get the enemy team to run into us, but the enemy team doesn't have to run into us because our only defense is a D.Va. So, whatever. As such, with this team lineup, we have to really change how we play. And we have to really, really be aggressive with the rocket spam. Luckily, we still get a very early advantage. Like, they fall for this again, which they really shouldn't. And yeah, we want to actually be a lot further forward than this, and we want to be just abusing them and trying to keep them pressured and trying to make sure that they have no time to set up, because they're running a fairly conventional lineup. Now, they don't have the Genji, but honestly, Genji's not going to do shit anyway against this lineup. They need to swap that Genji on the enemy team as fast as they can, because he's going to do nothing here. Yeah, enemy team starts advancing forward. The enemy team should just be slow rolling forward and going, like, taking the time with this, pushing forward, clearing turrets, and then just fighting after the turrets are down.
To the side room.
Again, there's no way that Genji can do this kind of movement. Case in point, he just drops low, gets absolutely wasted. They have to clear the point, though. They have to clear out these two turrets. Like the Lucio or something should be focusing on doing that. Zarya comes forward. Let's punish this area. If we can get rid of this area, we're actually in a really good position. That should be a dead Zarya. Yes, it is. We really do want to, though, stay there and make sure that Zarya goes down. The reason why is simple, is that something could go wrong with the Symmetra. So let's just stay and guarantee this kill. There's no reason for us to back up here. We should just make sure that this kill is finished off before we go back to the fight. Because when they don't have Zarya and they only have 5 seconds, now they're in a really bad situation. They have to get on the point. Now this is sort of playing to our advantage where we have a lot of stalling, a lot of healing, and a lot of very defensive people on the point. Now you notice this Genji is just going in on his own and just dying. This Genji should have swapped the moment he saw the Symmetra and the Tourbillon.
Oh, he bumped into me.
Reinhardt charges in, but down he goes. Feels good, man.
Good job, guys.
Then Zarya's dead. Like, we really do want to confirm that kill, though. It works out. It works out because the enemy team played it wrong. It works out because the enemy team fucked up. And they shouldn't have really been able to lose to that. They should have just taken it slow, ground their way forward. And even though they only had like 1 minute, 5 seconds or whatever, or just 1 minute, they could afford to take that slowly when they saw that there was a Tourbillon Symmetra, and then just very limited DPS options.
Offensive Symmetra.
What rank is this anyway? This is 2.5k-ish, I think, is the game overall. The player himself is 3,000, and he's queuing with his friend who's 2.3k, but I think the game itself, game rating 2.6k. So it's pretty much the median. It's pretty much like smack bang in the middle, just a little bit higher. This is like a fairly average game.
In between rounds.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to be chattering, but we want to set ourselves some objectives. So again, we want to be looking for the same things we were looking for before, which is we want to be, you know, do they have a Mei? Do they have a Symmetra? Can we clear out the Symmetra turrets in any easy way? Can we use their Reinhardt barrier, for example, to clear out the Symmetra turrets? There's a lot of Reinhardts that stand very close to the wall where Symmetra sets up a turret. You just hit the Reinhardt barrier and you kill all the turrets. It's actually a really good way of doing things. I see in chat a question, do you accept PS4 gameplay? Yes. I haven't done a PS4 review. I do get sent gameplay footage by PS4 occasionally. Feel free to send it in. We'll probably do some next week, which is not a bad idea. New quote, this team lineup is wank. Yeah. I mean, it won, but I'm not happy about it. Okay, they have a soldier. And they have a Bastion. Well, this Bastion is dead. Yeah. Long range, Pharah will instantly kill a Bastion. No problem. And now we just, honestly, we can take our time. Like, we do not want to rush here because we already have such a huge advantage, one of them being dead. I'll be looking to poke a little bit more before committing this hard. So if you watch a lot of Pharahs, a lot of the high-level Pharahs, they will usually poke a lot and then wait for an opportunity, then dive in. Now that the rest of the team is starting pushing, this might be okay, but they still have a lot of healing. If this Soldier 76 was better and we have no healers on ourselves, we could just die very quickly. Like, he can just gun us down so fast at that range. And again, he's focusing on us, so we want to be pulling back. Pharah will die very quickly. We just want to be a little bit careful. We could take our time getting the kills that we need. Okay, Soldier's actually done a really stupid thing. We actually out-DPS him here as long as we land the rockets. We don't manage to quite do that. Feels bad, man. And this is actually one situation where, like, as Pharah, you definitely want to be trying to practice this. So if you are going to like a quick play game, you think, I'm going to play Pharah. When you get into these opportunities, like, try and think very hard about where you're putting your rockets, where you're aiming your splash damage, where you're putting down your DPS, because this is the kind of situation, this kind of 1 versus 1, that you're going to end up in a lot. When you're basically going for a dive bomb on a target, you usually poke, dive bomb a target, and you try and end them in this situation where you're a little bit above them, and you can just hit them down. I think the big mistake with this fight, this 1 versus 1, is we're actually in a really good position right here. The soldier is actually still quite dangerous for an opponent. It's when we land on the floor here that we lose kind of a lot of advantage. Hey, we're going to do sub as well. Oh my god, people are subbing by the dozens. No, I wish they were subbing by the dozens, but they're still subbing. Mumfies! Good name. I like it. Mumfies. I really do like it. Thank you for joining the many. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So we want to maintain a little bit of a height advantage. Like, there's no cover regardless of where we stand in this situation. And yeah, we just want to like hammer in with damage as much as possible. Remember, Pharah can 2-shot people. We want to be exploiting that fact. When we're down here, it becomes a little bit more dicey and becomes a little bit more risky. We can start hunting him down a little bit. He does heal up, but hey, changes his focus. Big mistake for him. We can now hunt him down, get the kill. 1 rocket, 2 kills. No problem. Feels good, man. Mercy gets herself killed by trying to overextend and save the Pharah, trying to overextend and save the soldier. We're putting out tons of damage. We get the kills. We take the point. Now we can hold them back. Use concussive blast. Good, 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 good. Reinhardt chucks in. Doesn't matter. We just kill him. We win the game.
GG.
Yeah, GG. Like I said, I thought your team would probably win just because you guys were communicating a lot. You were making plans, which is always very good. Like, I think the team was over-communicating a little bit. They were just, they were making friends with each other, which is fine. They're having fun. But when you're making a plan for, like, an engagement, it's just like, yeah, like the Reinhardt, for example, did a very good thing by saying, like, yeah, when that Reinhardt barrier drops, I'm going to outshatter. Which is a very good idea. We really probably should have... I didn't see too much communication come out of us. We really should be linking up with the Zarya as much as possible, just keeping tabs on the ults. We've got to play the game. As Mercy. Let's see what they can do.
You got me.
Let's cast this out. The chat, actually, before we do this, let's actually go back. Oh, it's changing the volume. Before we actually go and do this, chat now is a very good time to start asking questions. We're going to cast this, go over the questions, and then we'll probably wrap up the session. Yeah! So let's see what Chinese name can do on the Mercy. He's going in, he's got one person dead so far. Mercy just waiting, biding a time, managed to get a double res at the moment, then instantly gets gunned down. Not too much else happening at the moment, really. That was play of the game, holy moly. And guess not too much happening. I mean, Genji just got himself 2 kills, but no, Mercy gets a 2 res and then dies, and apparently that's worth it. Okay. You notice we did 33% of our team's damage, which is pretty good, considering we were shooting a lot of barriers, but still. It's about where we want to be. The big thing I would say that I noticed with this game was that we should be using our concussive blast a lot better, and we definitely need to have a plan whenever we press that Q button. We gotta have that barrage plan in mind. Like when we're dropping down, we know who we're going to be prioritizing. We know who we're like barrage. Think of it this way: where you have one target that you instantly explode, and then the other ones are you're just cleaning up. Who are we going to instantly explode? It's usually going to be an Anna, and there's always probably in my mind the highest priority, just because she can sleep dart you. Then after that, you want to be exploding stuff like Zarya's Reinhardt. So there was one instance, for example, where we did like half DPS to a Zarya. If you get a Zarya down and you blow up her barrier, you have to finish the Zarya off. You can't just like blow through a Zarya's barrier and then not go for the fallout kill. That happened once here, for example. I saw it in my first watch through. I don't think I picked it up on the second one because I was busy talking about other things at the time, probably. But if there is a Zarya where you blow up a barrier, make sure you are following that up. And if you are barraging down a Zarya and she barriers, kill the barrier, kill the Zarya as fast as you can, because if you don't, she runs off with 100 charge and kills your entire team. So make sure you clean that up. Otherwise, yeah, it was okay. It was all right. Wasn't too fancy, which honestly I kind of like. I don't like fancy play. I like very stable play is what I call it. Very typical play, sticking with the team, dealing a lot of damage. Don't be afraid to experiment out and range out every now and then, though, but just be very careful when you are, that you don't expose yourself too often, and make sure that whenever you fire off 1 or 2 rockets, like a lot of the times we died because we kept firing rockets from the same place, that's a good way to just get yourself camped and killed. If you could create a hero, what type would they be? Ooh, difficult question. I would go ambitious and try and create like an Abathur style hero. So if you haven't played Heroes of the Storm, Abathur is like a commander, and he like buffs everyone else rather than doing things on his own. I'd maybe try and get that working. Look like the end of play the game you had 2 days ago. Oh yes. Sorry, I missed a question up here as well. P. Clark asks, as Pharah, is there time to hover behind a Rhine shield, or is there not really a lot of interplay between Pharah and Rhine? I actually want to comment on this. I commented down on it at the start as well when I was talking about Valkyr. Because when I was playing against Valkyr yesterday, I noticed that he was like, there was a Reinhardt barrier in front, and then he was like hovering above it. And the second I came around the corner as Anna and started firing shots at him, he ducked behind the barrier. There is no reason for Pharah to not be behind that barrier. Like, you don't have to be in the air to be doing damage. If you can do damage from behind a barrier where it's safe, do damage from behind the barrier where it's safe. There is no reason not to do that. So why don't you do it? You know, the thing with Pharah is you have freedom to attack over things. You can get over things very easily, but make sure you're using cover when doing that. But if you are just in like shelling damage mode, if you are just, you know, there's no good targets available, don't be afraid to hide and do safe things. Like Pharah, when you can just tunnel out hunting things, is really, really easy. So yeah, don't be afraid to do that. Let's see. Winston and Junkrat coaching soon? Send them in. Winston should be soon. I think a couple of people are going to be sending in Winston footage. If you got Winston footage, send it in. If you got Junkrat footage, send it in. Junkrat's going to be an interesting one because Junkrat's not a hero I like too much, and probably half the coaching would be me ranting why Junkrat's not great. But yeah. Did you see the Ryan game I sent you? I have issues with your email sending links. Is your name anything close to 10 sounder? Let's see. I don't know which one's yours. It's the thing. I do get a lot of Reinhardt footage though. But yeah, I probably got it. I mean, if you send it to OAM reviews, then you should have been sent. The thing is, I get a lot of Reinhardt footage, and we did Reinhardt not too long ago, so I'm just avoiding Reinhardt for now. I'll definitely go back to him though. Reinhardt's a very complicated hero, so there's a lot to talk about. Anyway, Best DPS and tank pits in the new meta, assuming 222. I like Soldier still. Soldier's definitely probably the best DPS in the game at the moment. McCree, Reaper still very good. You can run dive comps now as well, which is very viable. Reinhardt, Roadhog still very good. Zarya still very good. Just a lot of good tank options. I just say avoid D.Va for now. And in terms of DPS to avoid, not really many that spring to mind. Avoid Junkrat, but other than that, yeah, it just depends on the kind of comp you're running and what you're going up against. How can you help your soldier McCree murder enemy Pharah? Give him space. Like, if the soldier and McCree don't have to worry about dealing with tanks and dealing with all this other shit that's going on, if you can keep back their tanks and stop them pressuring, do it. So for example, let's say you have Soldier and McCree. Well, McCree should probably be thinking, okay, let's leave Soldier to kill the Pharah. I'm going to move forward a little bit, position it a little bit more aggressively, where I can keep their Reinhardt back, I can keep their Roadhog back, I can keep their D.Va back. If D.Va jumps on Soldier, I can go and help him and kill the D.Va very quickly, and leave the Soldier to deal with the Pharah, and even maybe say in voice chat, okay, Soldier, you focus on Pharah, I'll deal with the tanks a little bit more. And that way you have clear priority of who's doing what and how you're organizing what. Just give the people space to be able to do things. If the soldier has to deal with like, oh, well, he has to put damage into the barrier and he has to kill the Roadhog that's coming forward as well because no one else is DPSing him and punishing him. If that's not happening, then Pharah can spiral out of control very quickly. Besides Mercy, what's your favorite combo with Pharah? Anna, very good. If the Anna is good, the thing with Anna Pharah is that the Anna will not often have time to heal the Pharah, just because if you think about where your team is, it's usually like in front of you, and then Pharah's like somewhere up here. So you're like, your team's down here, your Pharah's all the way up here. And so Anna wants to be like focusing on this, and then has to occasionally look completely the other way to find the Pharah. But for example, when a barrage goes off, if you just tunnel healing into the Pharah, it's so powerful. Zarya Pharah, another just like, aside from supports, it's just a very strong combo, just because you not only have the Graviton barrage, which is super powerful, but you can put a bubble on the Pharah quite a lot and give her more protection. You can actually protect her when she's in the air, unlike a lot of tanks, so that's very powerful as well. It's a very, very good combo. As far as a lot of times, we already did this one. If tomorrow I played a game of comp, what hero should I run, get my team to run? Difficult question, because it's in flex. I'd just say avoid running D.Va, but even D.Va's like not too bad at the moment. She's not complete garbage, but you have to change how you play her. Definitely run Anna, and definitely run Soldier, I'd say, are like the two big combo. Definitely run a Reinhardt in most cases as well. What is your favorite meme? Smash Mouth All-Star. Just put that with anyone. Just put that with anything and it's fucking hilarious. Swaggins is here, asked, do you feel it sometimes worth switching to Widowmaker to deal with a Pharah? I often find it easier to deal with Pharah as Widow as opposed to Soldier. Widow is the hardest counter to Pharah in the game. Widow is definitely the best counter. Is it worth swapping? The answer is probably no. Because what you gain in killing the Pharah, you lose in utility elsewhere. So the trade-off is that you have a Widowmaker instead of a Soldier. Soldier exerts a lot more damage pressure just by like slamming damage into barriers, for example, punishing tanks that are moving too far forward. Soldier's a lot better at it. He does more DPS. So while you shut down the Pharah, if the Pharah is like the complete single issue and completely shutting you down, and he's getting hard, and he's like hard carrying the enemy team, and he's got supports just up the arsehole, like a certain other Brit that I know from Swindon, then yeah, like Widowmaker's not a bad idea to try and shut that down. But then you've got to play around having the Widowmaker getting space. Again, putting a barrier in front of the Widowmaker's not a bad idea. Just making sure that Widowmaker can focus on that target, all that kind of stuff. But in general, it's kind of a bad idea. You should be able to pressure her up with Soldier enough. It's just tricky. Don't try and do it with McCree. McCree's a lot worse than Soldier, just because engagement range, like we saw it earlier in this video, when the McCree was trying to shoot us at long range, we took like 20 damage. Who gives a shit? We fire 120 damage rockets back. Like, we don't give a fuck. You should focus targets 20 ults. Go first for the supports and DPS, then for tanks. Another good tip is to shoot one rocket, then insta-barrage. There's no delay between ult and normal shot, and you get a free damage with it. I actually disagree on going for supports and DPS and then tanks, because you can kill a Reinhardt super fast, and then the rest of your team can just clean up. Like, there's nothing wrong with blowing up a tank immediately if the DPS can't focus on you that quickly. Killing supports I definitely think is a good idea. Getting rid of an Anna, especially, getting rid of a Mercy. Lucio, I'd say, is actually less important, just because Lucio's not going to have that much impact on the battle after the initial stage. So you can generally afford to leave a Lucio alive. If you kill, like, Anna Reinhardt, think about how much the enemy team has lost. Or Anna Zarya, the enemy team's just lost a shitload. And like, if your team can't do any DPS because Reinhardt's in the way, you kill Anna Reinhardt, you have like the rest of your team can come in and just win. But if you kill like their Soldier and Genji or whatever, if you kill their Soldier and McCree in the back, their team could just maybe turtle up or back up a little bit, just see that as lost, whatever, hold on, stall, and maybe get something else as a result. By freeing up like the big important targets and bursting those down as quickly as you can, then it kind of works nicely. How to avoid Diva, DM's shields. Diva's defense matrix and shields when ulting as Pharah, coming from the back, doing the drop down, so coming from above is always a very good idea. In general, like, don't think about avoiding Diva. The only time, like, if Diva rockets off somewhere, like, this is always a good thing with Zarya as well, is like, did Diva just rocket forward somewhere? Divas do this all the fucking time. It makes no sense to me. They'll just rocket off somewhere when they're defending and you've got a Zarya and they'll just rocket somewhere. That instance is like, okay, fine. She rockets are on cooldown, fire a Graviton Surge in. You could think the same with Barrage. If Diva just runs off somewhere, drop the barrage in. It's exactly the same mentality of looking for that opportunity. It's just Diva shuts Pharah down in like a really big way. Diva is definitely one of the hardest counters, so it's pretty difficult. What flavor of ice cream is a Mercy play of the game? Oh, it's gonna be something. It's just something deeply disappointing. It's the budget Asda ice cream that my brother sometimes gets when we go to the shops. You know, it's vanilla, it's okay. It's kind of, you know, it's ice cream, so it's kind of nice, but it's still very low quality, and you'd rather be having something else, being completely honest. That's what flavor ice cream Mercy plays of the game are. Do you watch Pro Like Crow for Junkrat? He's number 1A. I don't. I have no idea who that man is, which is probably says a lot about me. I'm sure there are good Junkrat players out there. Like, someone's got to be number 1, but you know, anyway, sorry, I triggered myself. And Junkrat, the thing with Junkrat is he's all noise and no substance. He does a lot of damage but doesn't really kill things. And against triple tank, if you are effective enough with the grenades, he could put out enough damage to really cause triple tank issue. But most Junkrats can't do that, and they just end up feeding the enemy Ana infinite ultimates, and then you just lose. He's actually a detriment. Maybe do a duo coaching the menu with Ryan? Yeah, that would be a good idea. Like if we do a sync coaching the menu somehow. Or Reinhardt in future. If you have a Pharah and Mercy combo, is Ryan still worth being used? Would switching over Winston be more worth it? Well, think about that. Like, if you're swapping over to Winston, what are you really doing to stop the pharmacy? The bubble barrier, like 600 hit points against the pharmacy, is going to blast 4 rockets. And that's just considering those two. You know, because it's going to be more than 150 damage per rocket. So the bubble's not going to really protect anything. You can't DPS them, you can't pressure them. You might as well stick with the Reinhardt, deal with the targets on the ground, protect as much as you can when they're coming up and over you. Honestly, it'd be better to have Reinhardt and then have someone swap to Diva, for example, to shut that down, to stop the rockets coming in. That frees up your Soldier 76, for example, who can tuck in behind you, just rocket and just blast down the Pharah or the Mercy, and then go from there. Like, that will work a lot better. Winston, I don't see being a good idea. You have tour footage soon. Ace. Could a Pharah help burning the Reinhardt shield so the rest can do things, or fire over the shield? It's not a bad idea. Like, if you've got nothing else to shoot at, you should be shooting at the Reinhardt barrier. And you've got to be cognizant of like how effective is your spam being. So if you are shooting over the barrier, but you're just like clipping things on the side, that damage is just literally Lucio ultimate in the making. If you can actually confirm hits and you actually like slap it around a soldier and you get him down, like if you land a body shot on a soldier and he drops out 100 hit points, that's a good instance to then like concussive blast forward and just dive bomb the soldier, rocket, kill him. And suddenly he's gone and suddenly you're a lot more free to do stuff. So it's just being aware of like, am I actually doing meaningful damage? If I am not doing meaningful damage, when I say meaningful damage, I mean like big chunks and then able to follow up on that damage rather than it just being healed up. If you're just like getting hit registers, but it's just like 20 damage, 30 damage splash, don't do that. Just instead hit the Reinhardt barrier, weaken it down for your team, because then when that barrier goes, your spam will be that much more effective. And just be repositioning during that time. ELS, one against many, just incredible. Incredible typing there, Rock Brad. But I'll spare you because it's a difficult name, don't worry. We'll be redoing coaching the many characters, and they are on console. Like this is the second time I'm doing Pharah. We did the second time we did McCree yesterday as well. I've done Ana twice, for example. So we do redo it. I will be doing more console footage soon, I think, as well. It's just like with console, it just has to like temper how I'm doing it is the thing. Anyway, I think we've been going for a little while. Yeah, we've got about 10 more minutes of questions. How do I win more Sombra? I have 47% weapon accuracy and usually 10k plus damage, and doming the heals and then engage and drop back to the front when we fight, but it always feels like hard to get traction. Welcome to Sombra! Yeah. As Sombra, literally the only way you win a Sombra is you link up with the rest of your team, you hack some health packs, you build up an EMP super fast. Like, watching how Complexity were doing, like, if you didn't get a chance to, go and look up the Overwatch NGE and watch how Complexity ran Sombra. She literally she throws down a translocator, stealths in, shoots someone, usually the Reinhardt, something else, just shoots him in the back while the team picks up a health pack over and over and over again, retreats the second people look at her, and then builds up an EMP super fast, drops the EMP, and then the team engages on the back of EMP, because it's very hard to beat EMP. So, yeah. That's it. And then try and do that. If you're trying to like assassinate people, you might as well be playing Genji. Just because like Blizzard say it's intentional that Sombra is not great at killing people. I think that's kind of stupid myself. Just because like Sombra has that hunter vision, right, where people drop under half hit points and you can see them. Surely you should be able to kill them in that instance, but you don't. You struggle doing it. So if you want to actually be doing shit in the backline, killing people in the backline, how do you win more of Sombra? You don't. Is the sad answer. Like, you can play Sombra incredibly well, but you'll be better investing that time in something else. If Sombra gets buffed, you might suddenly find yourself being that much more effective. It sounds like you're doing kind of the right things. It sounds like you're hitting targets and you're doing heals and doing stuff you want to be doing. Just focus your play around what's powerful in a kit right now, which is going to be the EMP. You skipped my question, Sea Surfer. Did I miss you? Did you type ESL one amongst many? Because I'm mostly looking at the red. I don't see your name. Who do you think Pharah's father is? The Canadian in the comics. There you go. Sorry, I missed you. Let's see. There's the meme spam. What do you think of the small buff Diva is getting? It's a very powerful buff. I just think that it is a really powerful buff. I like it from a consistency point of view, so that Defense Matrix just feels more consistent. I think that they're going to run into the problem where Defense Matrix also feels overpowered. But I think that about Defense Matrix anyway. Like, I think Defense Matrix is super hard to balance around. It's super hard to balance around, and is always going to cause them issue. When I'm having sex with my girlfriend, I wear Bluetooth headphones. I tell my girlfriend it's music to give rhythm to the experience, but it's really your voice because it's the only way I can stay hard through it. Is this normal? Yes. Don't worry. Many people have this. When do you think we can expect Winston gameplay? Probably next week. Do I have much Winston send in? Like, send some in. Let's see, Winston. Few videos, multiple tanks, including 2.0 Hog. So yeah, we got some Winston footage. That was Logos today, I think. And yeah, we got a couple. But hey, sending in more never hurts. Sending in more never hurts. You got it. Whoops. Sorry, Meow indeed. Didn't mean to click you. Let's see. What would you suggest to improve Tracer gameplay? What's your guide? What's your setup low? But what kind of drills should you do, for example? Drills with Tracer doesn't really help much. Go and watch the coaching in the menu if you haven't already. Just be very aware of how you're engaging when you're engaging, that kind of stuff. But we want to stick mostly to Pharah-centric questions, to be honest. So just go and watch the coaching in the menu Tracer if you haven't. It's in the playlist on YouTube. Definitely go watch that, and just try and be aware of like how you're managing your blinks, how you're managing your engaging. Go in with a goal, go in with a plan whenever you're engaging, and never get caught in the middle of a fight. Like, Tracer, the number one thing you can do is disengage. You never have to be in a fight you don't want to be in, so never be in a fight you don't want to be in. Yeah, but you should go for Anna and Mercy. Yeah, Lucio, less, but you should go for first the people who stun you and stop your ult. Yes, I agree with that. It's just DPS I'm a little less concerned about. Would you do a Genji or Lucio gameplay if you tried to send it to? Yes. Lucio, it's a while since I did Lucio, so we'll probably do a Lucio soon. It's been a while since we did a Genji as well. Send them in. Just, like, rather than ask me, should I send this in, just send it in. See what happens. Because, like, I do a bunch. I keep seeing the name Shaggy in the background. Why are you seeing Shaggy in the background? Oh, there. Hi, Shaggy. Shaggy. It wasn't me. Anyway. Only time that Winston is greater than Reinhardt is the Bunny defense first point. Yes. That's because you're just more mobile. At the beginning of a defense round, is it okay worth it to get 3-4 rockets off for ult charge? Make sure they keep distance and conk boss away quickly. Yes, it is. You can play Pharah in a very passive way that's also very effective, where you're trying to snipe away and build up ultimate, and then you come in with a barrage, and that's how you get your kills. If you are just firing off rockets, that's a good way of doing it. Honestly, this is kind of how you want to be playing anyway, especially at the beginning of a defense round. It's a little bit trickier because you want to be careful about feeding ult charge, but honestly, if you get your barrage up nice and early, then it doesn't matter too much because barrage just wins a fight, usually. So yes, like that's fine, I would say. Just make sure that you're being effective with it, and then make sure that, you know, you're actually putting pressure on things and holding them back. Otherwise, I think I'm going to take 1 or 2 more questions, probably 2 more questions. Who do you think should get the next buff and why? Impossible to say. Like, this current patch has had no time to settle, so I have no idea where people are in terms of balance. I think Lucio needs his remake badly, just because Lucio is not very fun. Like, that, I'll dodge the question and say that Lucio remake when. Guys, let's do this one. Swaggins is here. Do you think Roadhog is too strong? Is going to be strong in this meta? He feels overpowered to me with Hook 2.0. Yes, yes I do. Is there any Pharah on? It's mostly Hog with 70% bad Winston. Okay, send in some Diva PS4 footage. Good. Was it on the current patch? Roberts 07. Nice. It's like a Dutch name. General question: is it worth using an ult to kill a single enemy before, as soon as they start the push? Before they start the push? No. No. Because then they just wait, and then you've kind of used your ult. And sure, you've stalled them a little bit, but it's more effective to use it in the fight. When they start the push, then maybe if you can get more value out of it. Especially be Mercy. I think Mercy's okay. When you're sending in footage, does SR matter? As in, is there SR that's too low? No. Lower the better. It's easier for me. Tips on Pharah air battles. Okay, this will be the last question, actually. This is a good question. Don't. Is the simple answer. It takes so long in Pharah versus Pharah to win a fight. You could be better spending your time elsewhere. You really could be spending your time better elsewhere. You want to be focusing more on dealing damage on the ground. The only time you should be doing Pharah versus Pharah is when you are really close to each other, and then you can start slapping into each other. And then just like aim at like the corners of Pharah. Don't aim at the center for Pharah. Aim at the corner. So imagine Pharah being a square. Okay, and aim at the corners. So if she's dropping and going left, aim at the bottom left corner. If she's dropping and going right, bottom right. If she's going to go up, top left, top right, that kind of thing. So don't just aim straight at her. That's kind of it. But it's difficult. Yeah, generally avoid it, like Metabrit says. Unless you can do it quick, don't. And if she has a Mercy, shoot the fucking Mercy. Okay. It was not this patch, yeah. The thing with like previous patch Diva and this patch Diva is that the playstyle is very different. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for us today. For Coaching the Many Pharah, thank you for joining us, those of you on Twitch. Thank you for those of you who watch to the end on YouTube. There's a couple of you that do every time, so yeah, thank you so much for doing that. If you do want to send in your own footage, send it into oamreviews@gmail.com. So, do it. So, make sure to send it into that email. Include the hero name, like the hero name, the rank, if you're a Twitch sub or not as well in the title. Twitch subs just get a little bit more priority. So if I'm deciding between 2 bits of footage, one's a Twitch sub, 2 pieces of footage on the same hero, one's a Twitch sub, one isn't, I'll generally go with the Twitch sub. In this instance, I think this person isn't actually a Twitch sub, so I do pick non-Twitch subs. So if you aren't one, send it in anyway. And yeah, that about wraps it up. Thank you again for watching to the end. Bye, YouTube. Doodles.